What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's your man Mark Man, aka Cloud Kicker. It's coming to you with another video. This one should be brief. Should be being the key word. But as you could tell by the title, she says unconditional love. Let's get that music up a little bit. There we go. But she says unconditional love. Now, it's one of these series where I'm addressing the things that women say. And my best interpretation of what that actually means. Because obviously dating is one of those hot topics. I feel like I can lend a hand to helping somebody out. You know what I mean? So this goes out to men everywhere. And women, if you're listening as well, just take heed. I mean, you can change the game if you want to. You can do what you want to, obviously. But just know that men are very aware. And this is some of the badness, unfortunately, that kind of comes with it. This is kind of part of this rewarding bad behavior that we've grown accustomed to. But number one, obviously, shout out to everybody that's listening or has listened, will listen. Shout out to everybody out there in the manosphere, even if I agree or disagree. And there's also some stuff going on with that as well, because I've been a YouTuber, been a content creator, took a long hiatus. You know what I mean? And then pop back on the scene and listen, and I hearing, you know what I'm saying, some brothers on here. Yes, let me hear what these brothers are saying. Some of you brothers are saying some good shit. You on some red pill shit, you on some old common sense shit, you on some old pimp shit, some dom shit in some cases, you know what I mean? Shout out to you guys. And in some cases, some of you dudes are still on some old wacky duck, kind of goofy ass, you know what I mean, pandering type of shit. And I've been accused of that. Obviously trying to reach a wider audience, trying to appease, you know, the female side of things. But, man, when you're talking to the brothers, when you're talking to fellas, when you're talking to men, it's a whole different conversation, you know what I mean? And obviously back then as well, I tried to cover a vast array of topics, you know what I mean, from politics to sports, everything. So, you know, when you get into that, and even with this platform, looking to do some of the same things, but first and foremost, let me get knee deep in some of these conversations. You know, as you can tell, the Pookie and Ray Ray, the why did she give you the pussy? You can tell a little bit of the theme going on. But right now, it's the She Says series. She says unconditional love. Ain't that but a bitch? Because, see, the definition of unconditional love in the rough, without going to Webster or Google or anything like that, the rough estimate with that shit is no matter what. Like, your love and what you do for that person never changes no matter what the other person does. Now, see, it's a beautiful thing. It is the highest form of love. I can agree with that. You know what I mean? And the reason why it is because it's a godly love. It's what the Most High has for us as we struggle through this life, as we've, you know, going away from His Word, and how we've done a few things that aren't so, you know, pleasing in His sight. However, He still loves us. Our Creator still loves us. You know what I mean? I'm sure that you have people somewhere around your neighborhood, maybe a church you used to go to. Somebody told you that Jesus loves you. You know what I mean? Same deal. We know that at least in religion, we teach that type of love. Now, religion is a whole nother thing. Spirituality and listening to the word and being, you know what I mean, cool with that. That's a whole nother thing. But at the same time, though, it is one of those things that, like I said, is reserved for a benevolent being. And when you apply it to human terms, the only one I can really think about in unconditional love is a parent and a child. You can have unconditional love for your child, right? Because it's the same way, obviously, with the Most High, with God. It is the love no matter what you do. There are some dudes out there that committed murder, that raped like 10 broads, that damn stole from everybody that they met, but their mama still on their side. Their daddy still love them. May not care for what they do or what they have done, but the love is there. Once again, the same goes to our Creator. We running around out here doing all kinds of nonsense, all kinds of bullshit, embarrassing them in front of the enemy at that. You know what I mean? All out in public with the shit. But you know what? He still loves us. You woke up this morning, that's an example of, even if you didn't, you wouldn't be listening to this, obviously, but there's still certain forms of love. Love isn't predicated off of what you get in all terms, usually. Even with unconditional love, you know what I mean? It's about the feeling. It's really deep down about the feeling. It's not about the physical, tangible things that come to the table when, speaking about love. It's really deep down about the feeling. So if you want that unconditional love, she says, I want unconditional love. I'm looking for unconditional love. Fellas, this is where she's telling you that she gonna fuck up a lot. And people fuck up. Don't get me wrong. This ain't no knock to anybody in no relationship, man or woman. People fuck up. You want to be forgiven. You want a clean slate. You want a second chance. But let's be honest. You know what I mean? There's some things that are just unforgivable in a lot of people's eyes. Now, that's something that you definitely have to work on in your personal. I hope that you can forgive anybody for whatever they've done. But a lot of people do have an unforgivable box that they have shit for or put shit in. And that's understandable. We all typically have that line that nobody should ever cross. And if they do, can't deal with you. And that's just common. That's regular. That's just how people survive in this world. But yet you have this woman. You might have been on a dating site. You might have clicked on her profile. The bitch was looking cute. She got a couple nice pictures, titties out, ass looking fat. Like, all right, then you start reading through the profile. And she got 3 kids and she's asking for unconditional love. Like, really? Like, motherfucker, really? You know what I mean? Like, you have to meet people in the middle with this type of mentality. But see, that kind of goes into some of the pitfalls and some of the hurdles, obstacles, the difficulties in actually dating in this particular era, because there seems to be a disconnect between reality and the fantasy world. You want to live in your fantasy world? That's fine. You still got crushes on celebrities? That's fine. Now, peep this. Now, not to rag on women, because men do the same thing to a certain extent, and it pisses me off too a little bit, you know what I mean? But I kind of get it, you know what I mean? There's a celebrity. The celebrity obviously is a celebrity for a reason. Possibly they're very handsome, or they're very sexy, or they're very attractive, so that it can cover both genders. You know what I mean? But it's typically grown-ass women, unfortunately. I ain't talking about the little girls. I ain't talking about like the teeny boppers and nothing like that. It's the grown ass fucking women that still have crushes, like serious ass crushes on fucking celebrities, bro. Like, if I ever meet him, I'm gonna do this and do that. Well, what you gonna do that the next broad hasn't done? And probably better than you will ever possibly do. And even if you are better than, it's the same shit. What you can do? Suck his dick? What you can do? Fuck him? What you can do? Let him fuck you in the ass? What you can do? Let him fuck you in your ear, your nose, or some shit? Like, What different are you? What? I mean, never mind. I'm getting off track. But the point is that you got grown ass women with real crushes on fucking celebrities, bro. What kind of shit is that? I'm talking about they. Obviously, you can like an actor. Obviously, you can like an actress. And that goes for men too. Let me make sure I cover that base as well. You got these old silly goofy ass men out here, damn in love. I'm talking about with a capital L, in love with Cardi B. Like if you ever met this bitch, she would give you the time of day. Like if you ever seen this bitch, no matter how much money you fucking damn give her. Or maybe I should say not any amount. I mean, but as much as you motherfuckers could probably bring to the table. And think that you could fuck her. To what? Satisfy some fantasy? Fantasy? And that's why men typically don't fall in this category, because we can admire a bad bitch from a distance. But that don't necessarily mean we go goo goo gaga, you know what I mean? That we will, obviously, if Beyonce walks through the door and says, like, look, I want to fuck you right now. Now, I ain't in a relationship, but if I was in a relationship and then she was like, the only way you can fuck me is if you leave that bitch. 90% of dudes would fucking get up and say, babe, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. You know what I mean? Hypergamy works in both ways. I get that, you know what I mean? Because there's fame, there's money, and there's just the appeal and the allure. Because she might not even be as good looking as the woman that you with. Slim chance, but there might be a chance that she don't look as good as the woman that you with. And actually, a better example of that, honestly, would be like a Tiffany Haddish. Not to rag on her, she's a fine, okay looking lady. You know what I mean? She's a run of the mill chick. It's fine, in my opinion. But if she walks through the door and be like, yo, the only way you can be with me is to leave your chick, there might be a really good chance that your chick looks better than her. So you'll be like, nah, I'll pass. You know what I'm saying? But I will fuck you for some money or something. I mean, if you're trying to break a nigga off, you know what I mean? Like, people will think like that. But to have this full-on crush for a motherfucking celebrity as a grown person is ridiculous. I'm sorry I got a little bit off track. Back to unconditional love. Unconditional love. You hear how that sounds? That means that she can cheat on you, bro. She can physically harm you. She might even harm your family members. She might even fuck up your finances. And not like she just spend a lot, but I mean, she might actually get you fired from your job, bro. But since it's unconditional love, you have to love her back. Now, you would think, obviously, these are extremes and that would never happen. And if a woman is asking for that she's willing to give that back, right? Cool. So I give you unconditional love, you give me unconditional love, and we rock like that, right? Oh, man, the silliness. Because I ain't gonna lie, this is one of my most entertaining ass motherfucking lives. I might have to push this one. I might have to advertise this one. But anyway, if you sit there for a little second and think that this chick that you fucking with is gonna stick by you no matter what you do, with all loyalty, all respect, everything on the table, all love on the table. Because with love comes loyalty, comes respect. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, you go out and fuck her sister, her cousin, her friend, her co-worker. You think that she's just gonna, forgive you, forget it, and be like, yo, baby, unconditional love, I love you. She might. She just might. There is a chance, you know what I'm saying? But see, when you're speaking on that, now you're getting into that subcategory, that alternate level where she really is fucking with you because you are the alpha in her eye, the apple of her eye, and no matter what you do, obviously you can do no wrong. You can beat on her, you can cheat on her, you can do all kinds of shit, and she probably won't go a damn place. And that does happen every now and again. You know what I mean? I can't discount that small percentage. So while I'm getting into my little tirade, while I'm going on my little rant, let me remember that shit does happen. You wonder why some of these abused women never leave their husbands or their boyfriends or whatever. That's part of the reason. Cause I mean, shit, if he beating you, he probably cheating you. I'm just saying. And it's unfortunate. I ain't condoning none of this shit. You know what I mean? Everybody should be upfront and honest about every dealings that they do. But I am merely observing a reality that is what it is. I'm merely just observing a reality. This is our reality. You can put the timestamp on it. It's 2019, and bam, this is how niggas act. This is how bitches act. Pardon me. Let me be a little more professional. It's 2019. This is how men act, and this is how women act, especially in the melanated community. Now, you can, of course, look at your Caucasian counterparts and see some of the same strifes affecting their community. Yes, you can. And it's an epidemic all around, I must admit. But for a woman to say, I want unconditional love, however, I won't give that shit back. No, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. But yet and still, I'm pretty sure that there's a few of you brothers out there that's willing to go the extra mile for that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell on myself. I've been that brother. I've tried to give a woman unconditional love, and I promise you, that shit may never, ever, ever happen again. And only because I understand that people are not equipped to love like that anymore. Maybe you can get to a point like that, but I understand that now it cannot happen. There's people that are capable of, but everybody has to hold something back. There has to be a line in the sand where you say, like, look, you can't treat me, because that's respect and love for yourself. But you just can't treat anybody any kind of way and then expect, you know what I mean, everything to be peachy and hunky-dory and lovey-dovey and all, rainbows and sunshine. Dang, that wasn't even on beat. Rainbows, sunshine. Ah, that rainbow, sunshine. All right, I fancy that I'm a singer or whatever, but it's not happening. Rainbow, sunshine. Kissy, 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 rainbow. Mm-hmm. Kissy, kissy, kissy. Okay. But anyway, so you can't expect that shit to actually really go down or actually really happen. But yet and still, you have women out here that say that particular silly shit. So ain't no need to even dig on that too much more. That's like kicking the dead horse. Like, that shit should be DOA, dead on arrival. If you hear that shit, fellas, or see that shit, fellas, unless you question the woman thoroughly and figure out whether or not she's willing to do the same. And all you gotta do is ask like 2 or 3 questions. You know what I mean? Like, yo, so if I cheat on you, like, you still love me? What? And that first reaction you get right there lets you know. Dead ass. Man, ain't nobody playing no games like that nowadays, man. Come on, man. Like, for real, for real. Like, you really mean to tell me that you could do whatever and I'ma still love you? Now, if you have some kind of understanding like that, and I think it is actually getting to that point where it's like poly lifestyle and every other thing is just lovely and good and rainbows, sunshine. Yeah, that shit, you know what I mean? Hey, you live your life, I guess, you know what I mean? You make your own choices, but I'm just talking about things that work for most motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So anyway, ... Let's get to the positive vibes. So she says, positive vibes only. This is a good one, actually. I'm going to close, after this one, but positive vibes only. If you see that anywhere posted, anywhere near you, you would think, number one, first, that is innocent. Because who doesn't want positive vibes? Nobody wants a Debbie Downer or a Danny Downer. Nobody wants no depressed ass motherfucker just like Eeyore motherfucker, you know what I mean, from Winnie the Pooh. Oh well, I guess it's time to go home. I mean, come on. Nobody really wants that shit, you know what I mean? Especially in a social setting, in a live setting, or even together, you know what I mean? Now, that's the flip side because honestly, in the dating world, from my perspective as a male, I've noticed that women will complain about a lot of shit. And sometimes it's domineering in the conversation. And you be like, you about positive vibes only, right? But yet you only talk about depressing ass shit. I mean, even sometimes some shit that happened like 20 some odd years ago, 15 some odd years ago, 10 some odd years ago. You know what I mean? Like, how you still whining and complaining about some shit that happened to you in like middle school or high school, some shit. You know what I mean? And you a grown person. And then you add that to the litany of other things that have gone wrong in your life. You know, you ain't highlighting the positive vibes only, right? You ain't highlighting none of that shit. All you talking about is how your baby daddy did you wrong and this, that, and the third. It's always some negative ass shit. Some bills that ain't been getting paid. Your kid is doing this. A kid, and even minus kids in past relationships, it's still just a whole overall negative vibe about life that sometimes comes from these women that claim that they only want positive vibes. That's the contradictory shit that gets me. I don't understand that shit. Like, I'm supposed to be, you know what I mean, filtering my energy to make sure that there's only positive vibes coming through. But yet and still, you just an open faucet, a fucking fire hydrant in some cases, just spewing all kinds of shit. Sometimes it's evil, sometimes it's hateful, sometimes it's racist, sometimes it's sexist, sometimes it's just flat out stupid. But yet, that shit is cool. See, men, unfortunately, you know what I mean, we get held to so much of a higher standard, and women will claim that they're held to a higher standard. But I tell women all the time, if you quit putting on makeup, if you quit, you know what I mean, feeling like you need to wear heels when you feel like that shit hurt your feet and all kinds of shit, and do all of that shit, men will still fuck you. If women came at a collective front and said, look, we're tired of this shit, we're not doing no more makeup, we're not really doing our hair like that no more, we just go dress how we go dress, men will still fuck you. Now, obviously, all women ain't gonna subscribe to that shit, which is why there's always going to be a problem. Because there's going to be the outliers, and those outliers are going to get way more attention than the ones that are looking frumpy. But that's the whole point. Like, there's still frumpy looking broads out here that still getting dick, that still have options. Now I'm getting to another level. I'm digressing. Excuse me. Back to the positive vibes only shit. Positive vibes only, right? I only got a couple. You say that. Shout out to everybody that you know what I mean, tuning in. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for the delay. A little technical difficulties. Fucking little internet. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to complete the thought. Oh, the chair just squeaky. Need the music. Where the music? Shit back going. Uh, Rule number one: no dead air. Makes motherfuckers think the shit down, going dead. But anyway, as those shit works itself out, the joys of going live. But in essence, positive vibes only seems to be one of those mantras that on the surface is cool. Everybody understands that. Like I said, who wants to be around people that are bad or negative or wants people that's always constantly putting you down, saying things that contradict, what I mean, what's really going on, what I'm saying, especially if it's on some old, above, up and above kind of shit, what I mean, above and beyond type of shit. So I get that part. Once again, what I mean? And if you mean that, you should live by it as well, which was my first example. Because I hate that shit. I hate when a motherfucker do be hypocritical on the shit that they put a lot of emphasis on. You feel me? Like, I get if you just mention that shit and it's kind of one of those things. Because like I said, everybody should feel the same way. Like, hey, obviously I want positive vibes, you know what I mean? But let's be real. Everything ain't always damn peaches and roses. Everything ain't rainbows and sunshine. All right, that was a bad one. But anyway, everything ain't that shit. You know what I mean? So being able to accept something that may not be the best thing you ever heard is part of the process of growing up. And let me dang unedit that damn sentence I just said. You know what I mean? And also preface it by saying that in a lot of cases, unfortunately, that positive vibes only shit is only a facade to say I don't want any criticism. Now, I get that as well. Nobody should just go around just like pinpointing people out and being like, I don't like this about you. Motherfucker, you could have saved your time and energy and just keep that shit to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's what most normal people do. You don't go out your way to tell somebody that they ugly. If you think they ugly, then just keep moving. That's kind of my whole, like, ideology or, logic behind things that I don't like. People ask me all the time, especially when you're dating, we talk about relationships and shit. They'll be like, oh, what don't you like? What's your pet peeves? And then I can never really come up with a good little list of pet peeves because I don't think about what I don't like very often. You feel what I'm saying? Like the shit actually has to come up to be for me to be like, oh yeah. Now when you talk about like food and shit like that, obviously I can name some shit like that off and personality types real quick. Everybody has the same shit, But when it comes down to specific shit that piss me off, I don't really think about that shit that often, you know what I mean? But a lot of people really spend a lot of time focusing on the things that they don't like. And I mentioned in the video earlier, go check it out, that motherfuckers bond off of things that they don't like in a lot of cases. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So once again, when you talk about positive vibes only, a lot of females unfortunately use that as a means to once again say, I don't want any criticism. Now, criticism is part of life, is how people grow. Unnecessary criticism can be seen a mile away, but from a person that wants to see you actually do better or succeed, I think that this is what is possibly missing sometimes, and a key component that's missing in the black community sometimes is the simple fact that we can't accept criticism. Like really good criticism, not hate that we've been damn saying since what, the 80s or 90s or some shit. We call everything hate. Everything is a hater. Everybody's a hater. Everybody hating on something. You know what I mean? Like we've been saying the same shit for like 20, 30 years. When in a lot of cases, it's just like valid criticism to help you, do better. Now, obviously, that's the thing with it. You can take it or leave it, but you can't call it something that it ain't. And obviously, you can say that it's not positive vibes if someone is criticizing you, but when you think about it, if it results into a positive outcome, then is it not positive? I don't know. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Usually when women say that, they're pretty much in party mode in that kind of case, you know what I mean? So they don't want anything that reminds them of reality. So it's all about positive vibes, meaning, the fairy tale, the fantasy, the daydreaming about fucking, their favorite celebrity or their favorite rapper or singer or whoever, you know what I mean? And drinking wine and fantasizing that they're one of these chicks on television, you know what I mean, on reality shows, or possibly their favorite singer or whomever actress. You know what I mean? They want that life, that imaginary life, and a lot of brothers are caught up in that shit as well. You know what I mean? You're going out your way to buy jewelry that you don't need. You're going out your way to drive a car that you can't afford. You're going out your way to impress bitches that really can give a fuck about you because they're looking for positive vibes, and they're looking for unconditional love, and that's a tough combo to put together for a broad. That means that you have to love them no matter what they do, and also fill their head up and gas their head up and say like, yo man, you the best for that shit. The fuck. And I guess some dudes be looking for the same thing. They want to go out there and just juck and jive and do whatever, you know what I mean? And they woman, you know what I'm saying, rub their back, rub their feet, and call them king, you know what I mean? Like, the shit don't work like that, buddy. You have to put in the actual work and actually have that respect, have that love, that shit, because I don't think I actually covered every topic on that shit. Like, why did she give you the pussy, bro? Once you figure that out, you'll be fine. And sometimes it is for a reason that you might not be happy with. Change it then. But just know that some pussy is going to come through that lane. You know what I mean? If you want that pussy. But if you just ain't getting just pussy, I hate using that word just over and over. That sounds redundant. But if you're able to attract a woman, if you're able to put yourself in a position to succeed with a woman, I'll put it like that. You know what I mean? Like, you should know better. And if you know better, you do better. But a lot of dudes ain't really got game, and that's why there's a lot of dudes on YouTube talking to fellas, and that's fine. Because we all been in that trap. We all been in that place where we did some old dumb ass shit, and it didn't really yield us the result that we wanted to. But yet it was for the same end result, and that was to succeed with a woman. But see, if your idea of succeeding with a woman is just ejaculation, then, we have a whole nother problem. And I know there are a lot of brothers out here, you know what I mean, be doing that shit. And I'm going to close the shit with this. This is just strictly for the fellas. I know a lot of you brothers be out there, buying pictures and buying videos from these Insta thoughts. I know a lot of you brothers be, Snapchatting these hoes and shit, be in their DMs hard, be on Twitter heavy, be in Facebook doing what Facebook ain't been meant for. In groups that, lead to certain things. All I'm saying to you brothers is just don't do too much, man. Just don't do too much, man. Like, keep it all relative with the shit, man. Like, there's real shit that's going on in life, and this dating shit, this relationship shit. It can be a main component if the relationship is real. But let's be honest, most relationships now ain't real. So just play the shit accordingly and don't stress too much about it, because that energy, that positive energy, should be put towards getting yourself a business or improving your body or improving your health or, improving your car or so. Whatever the fuck it is your goal might be. You know what I mean? Like, your goal shouldn't always be bitches. And if your goal is always bitches, you will always lose. And then you look at other brothers with bitches and wonder how they got bitches. It wasn't by chasing bitches. And let me rephrase that to be more PC. If you see fellas out there that you might admire for having a certain ilk of women, a certain type of women, and you're wondering how they dibble and dabble in that type of pool, then you have to take your ass off your shoulders, listen, Take notes if you have to, and apply it to your own life and do it to a way that it makes you you. It makes you unique. And quit listening to bros that tell you that they need unconditional love and that's the bottom line, or that they want positive vibes only and that's the bottom line. Because see, that's the quickest way to get your ass fucked up. You gotta check that shit, man. And if you can't deal with it, because they're gonna have their ultimatum, bet believe that. You have your ultimatum. You have your standards. Men, it's okay to have standards. Just know that. It's good to go. All right, I've been long enough on this one. It's been about the average, about 30-something, 40 minutes on the live. Hopefully y'all boy check this out. If so, like, share, subscribe, comment, pass it around. Let it be known that you can have standards, fellas. And I'm out.